Hello, 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 kings and queens, bold and driven family. Hi, I'm Queen D, and it's just so nice to be back home. It's been a pretty busy summer for me. I'm not complaining, but I do have to get my rest. What I wanted to talk about tonight, well, it's been a topic that's been on my mind for some time now because as a queen and being as feminine as I am, it gets kind of confusing, especially with the men. And now with my sister queens too, because feminine energy is what we're going to talk about this evening. I've been listening to other pastors and psychologists and all these things because I just love learning, because we never stop learning. As long as we're alive, the world is our classroom. So let's talk about that feminine energy, because even the women get confused with that. Feminine energy is someone like myself. Now, back maybe 10 years ago, even 20, even my mother's generation and before that, women had a certain energy, a feminine side. This goes all the way back to biblical time. If you ever read this, read all about what's it, the Song of Solomon. Solomon, yeah. And if you think about it, what that is about is just who God made us. You see, when God made female, not just human female, but even if you look in the animal kingdom, if you ever watch animals, if you ever looked at Wild Kingdom or any type of animal show, the male of every species is fighting for that platform, for that position to be the head honcho for his woman, his feminine woman. I don't care if it's a bear or a lion or a human. They're fighting for that position. But you see, times have changed now in our human species, where the water gets a little muddy. So I wrote down some things, and I'm going to put my glasses on. Are you becoming the kind of woman you need to be to attract a masculine man? Because let me tell you something, that's never been Queen's problem. I'm not bragging, but you know why it's not my problem? Because see, feminine energy does not have to do with all about how pretty a woman is. It's about exuding her feminine side. And we're not talking about just sex. It's about how she moves through a room, how she glides. See, a real masculine man, he recognizes feminine energy. And see, women, us queens, especially us Black queens, and our culture, we've had to put that on the shelf. Think about that. Because when you have to go out there and put on that full armor to do what you need to do, you got to become more masculine. You got to be tough. And when you're being tough and masculine and you got kids to feed, mouths to feed, and clothe, you ain't got no time for no feminine energy. Not when you fighting against the world. Especially those single parent sisters out there. You know what I'm talking about. I was once married and I enjoyed it to the max, my feminine energy, because I had a real masculine man. I had a man that says, I got this. I will take care of this. You know the man I'm talking about, the one that you sleep with, where you know that if there's a noise outside in the backyard, you know he's going to get up to protect his family. That kind of man. You know the kind I'm talking about, that when you're out and he feels like maybe you've been disrespected, he stands up and say, hey, whoa, 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 that's my wife. That kind of man. That's my woman. That kind of man. Woo! That's what we call real masculine. You know, the kind of man that you ain't got to worry about if your bills have been paid because he's responsible. It doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. It doesn't mean that you can't work or don't work. What it means is you know your man got this. You ain't got to worry about someone knocking on your door because he got this. Yeah, that kind of man. You see, that part of marriage I miss. I'm not ashamed to say that because I'd be a liar. Every woman wants to feel protected. Every woman wants to feel secure. Every woman wants to feel needed and wanted and comforted because that's who we are as feminine women. You see, when that aspect is taken out of your life, you miss it. You miss it dearly. So that's why I wanted to talk about this subject tonight. Because there's a lot of confusion going on out there right now in the world. We women don't know where we stand, some of us. See, I already know where I stand. I'm not changing for nobody. Queen is feminine, and Queen is intelligent, and Queen will use her masculinity when she needs to. That means I can hold my own. That means I can make sure that I take care of business when I need to. But when my man's around, I scale back and I let him have that platform. And he's like, baby, I got this. And I'll be like, okay, honey, because I know he does. You see, he recognizes that I complete him. I am his helpmate. I honor his position. And that doesn't make me less than. That makes us a team. That's what I'm talking about. And so when you are becoming the kind of woman you need to be to attract a masculine man, understand one thing. You got to hold your feminine energy. That's the only way you're going to get a masculine man. See, you don't want a man child. You want a man. You want someone that's already been developed, that knows how to do what he needs to do. It's quite simple. If he's with you, you should not have to worry about the roof over your head. You should not have to worry about security. It's not that you can't take care of yourself. You just know when to scale back and let him be the man that he said he wants to be. That's called feminine energy. Baby, I recognize you. And there's nothing wrong with that, lady. And you know, men, kings out there, vice versa, you need to recognize your feminine women too. You see, because as a woman, there's some things that go in that package. You know, women are delicate creatures, especially when we want to be. You know, we're like flowers. I always say we're like roses with thorns. That means we're beautiful. We feel good. We smell good. We are romantic. We are sexy. We set the stage for the ambiance of romance. But we have thorns. And if you move us or pluck us the wrong way, yeah, you're going to get stuck. That's what I'm talking about. But we all can attest that. How do we work together with masculine energy and feminine energy? The fact is that feminine women have a certain energy that attracts masculine energy. So that's why I've never had a problem. It doesn't mean that I'm better looking or whatever you want to, in your mind, think it is. It means that I call a man a king because he needs to be honored and recognized for his ability as a man. You see, that's part of being feminine. It doesn't mean that you're less than. It means that you don't mind complimenting your man. It means that you scale back and let him show his strength because the more you encourage him, the better he gets in every department. That means if you're saying, baby, oh, you so smart and you got this, that's your feminine energy. He'll be like, okay, I'll take out the garbage. What else you want me to do, baby? When it's nighttime, it's on. It's on. That's what I'm talking about. Feminine energy. See, women today, a lot of us, queens out there, yes, I'm talking to you because a lot of you are single. See, once was a time women were considered an old maid at the age of 20, but now the pendulum has and the scale and went from 20 to 30, and now 35 and 40 women are single, which means, ladies, queens out there, your time is limited. What does that mean? That means that if you've never been married and had children, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because you got to think of something. Are you gonna freeze your eggs? What you gonna do? Now, I know in your heart you want a mate. How you gonna get him? You cannot get a man with masculine energy. He's not going to accept that. It's unacceptable because he's a man, because that's what God made him to be, and he will not change that. So you got to use what God has given you. So use what you got to get him. Because a masculine man will recognize a feminine woman. He only wants a feminine woman. I can give you an example. If you think about any high-powered man, any high quality, high valued man, and you say to yourself, well, shoot, how did she get him? It's because she knew how to scale back and use her feminine energy. That's all. Use what God gave you, ladies, queens out there. See, he don't want to compete with another man. He don't want his woman to be a king. He wants his woman to be a queen. Okay? So you got to think about how you're going to play that. Because he's not going to be with you. I don't care. Listen, transparency, because I always say the best way to be honest and to people to relate to you is a little transparency. So let me tell you a story last night. Last night I was talking to a man in my DM that I really like. Out of a thousand of them, I went full circle over 3 years back to him because he said some things to me on the phone that really, as they say, resonated in my spirit. He said, a man don't care if you got a PhD. Yeah, it's nice if that's a feather in your cap. He said, a man wants to know that the woman he's with wants him and will be a helpmate. He said, because I can take care of myself. I'm not interested in your intelligence. I'm interested in who you are as a woman and what you bring to the table with your feminine energy. And that topic came up because I had made a statement that, I had men in my DM saying, hey, baby, and hey, sweet. And I was chopping them down like, hey, don't you call me baby. Hey, I'm an intelligent woman. Don't you read my posts? I'm inspired. I'm this. I'm a teacher. I'm this. I'm that. And he said, no, that's not what it's about. I mean, yes, you got to lay out what you want to be respected for. But also understand, in the male species, the first thing he sees is you, because men are visual creatures. They don't see your intelligence first. They see what they like first. And women, queens, you can't change nature. If a man sees a beautiful woman, and it could be like 10 beautiful women, there's going to be one that stands out. She may not be the prettiest, but she's got a certain kind of energy that he's picking up on, a vibe that he's giving off. That's what he's looking for. So You have to, if you want to be a wife, it starts from the ground, the foundation. Yeah. Because anytime you're like, say, for example, you're building something. Well, I'll give you an example of building a house. You don't build a house and just start throwing the cement in there and start laying down the brick and the studs and the walls. That's not how it starts. It starts with a concept. It starts with a desire, a concept in the mind first. You just can't just build something without starting with a concept first. So, ladies, that's where it starts. You have to be a wife before you be a wife. You have to start thinking that way. You can't, you can't, well, you can, but I'm going to tell you something. It may not go the way you want it to. So if you are hanging out, for example, with your girls, hey, that's fine. Women love communing together. That's what we do. And men love too and doing it too. Yeah. But if they're hanging out, girls gone wild, and you're looking for a certain kind of king, a masculine king, he's watching. He's watching you. He's deciding, do you really want to be married or you just want to be with your girls all the time? And even if it's your girls, are you doing shots and booty calls and hang? Because maybe those girls may not be ready to be a wife. I'm talking to the woman who wants a masculine man who does not want to be single anymore. That's the woman I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the ones that just want to have a good time. To each his own, no judgment zone, I say in Queen's Court conversation. But if you are tired of being single, you're going to have to sit back and rebuild the concept of what you want and what you desire. And on that note, I'm going to go to a commercial break. I'll be right back. Talking about my queen out there, my beautiful queens out there, my intelligent, my strong, my wise queens, those who have been in the trenches, queens who are saying, hey, I want to put my masculine energy to the side for a change and take a deep exhale and let him take over. So, what do I have to do that? I got to start thinking about concept. You see, ladies, queens out there, you got to have a concept first. You got to redesign your ideas about what you want. See, we don't want situationships. We want a relationship. We want something to build on. How do we do that? We got to go back to concept. You see, there's a lot of women out there saying, there are no good men out there. Oh, I gotta go to a different race. Oh, I'm just sick of this. They all gay, they're in jail. But let me tell you something. I have spoken to men, some kings out there who are saying, there are no good women out there. They're all on Instagram just showing their booties and just carrying on. And yeah, they're good for one night stand. But what I'm looking for is quality. What I'm looking for is someone to build a life with. Yeah, I'm a man. I'm going to do something. But hey, so listen. Or the chronic complainers, these no good men out there, these no good men, or these no good women out there. And so listen, we got to stop complaining. We got to get back to harmonizing and being with each other and reunited. Let's get back to basic. We are one race that have a lot of dysfunction. You see, Spanish people, Latinos, Asian, Indian, or Chinese, and Caucasian. If you ever look at them, I have been in the parks and see them with families and holding hands. And every time I see us, whether for a group of women or a group of men, I don't see the numbers that it should be. And I really believe there's a division of the enemy trying to break us apart. It could be a generational curse. I don't have the answers, but I do know one thing. God will bring you what you need if you ask him. And you start building. You start building yourself up to the queen of feminine energy. Hey, you already got the bag. You already know how to do your career. You already know how to take care of your children. You already know how to go get yours. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get you back to being the feminine woman. Hey, being good in bed and knowing how to be a hunter and looking sexy and going out there getting a man. We can do that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about feminine energy. I'm talking about when you want a man to pursue you, a masculine to pursue you. You see, men pursue and women attract and approve. That's right. I'm going to say that again. Let that resonate in your spirit. Men pursue, but women attract, and then we approve. But listen to this. We both date. But at the end, the man has to find a decision whether or not he's going to ask to marry you. Mm-hmm. He has that final decision. So what you going to do? That's what I'm talking about. You got to start healing. See, there's a lot of trauma in us. And we got to heal the soul. That's what we're going to do. We got to heal. You see, masculine energy and feminine energy could be a traumatized background. In other words, if a woman has been traumatized, she doesn't know how to scale back and be feminine. You say one thing, it might trigger. An example, you could be in church and a pastor might say something like, you need to submit. You'd be like, oh, don't use that word to me. He did not say anything that was not in the word. You see, submission does not mean that you are under lock and key and a slave. That's not what he's talking about. He said, submit. Wives, submit to your husband, and husbands, you are supposed to respect your wife as God respects the church. Okay? Love your wives as God loved the church. And woman, you are supposed to respect your man. You have to encourage him. He needs you. You are the helpmate. You can't change the word. I'm not going to get all biblical on you, but you can't change science and biology. I don't care what you do. But if you want a man, a masculine man, a good one, then you're going to have to get rid of your triggers. You're going to have to heal from the inside out. You may not be ready for a man yet. And he may not be ready for a woman yet until he heals. Because there could be a lot of trauma there from family dynamics, things that happen in your life that you got to get past. But understand one thing, women, ladies, queens out there, the man leads the dance on the dance floor when you're slow dancing. He leads. And listen, even when you're getting impregnated, listen, when you're making love in the bed, whether you want to admit it or not, he has to perform. You just have to be present to get pregnated. That's the truth, whether we want to admit it or not. So what I'm saying is this: dressing sexy and putting on the right makeup and the right hairstyle does not make you feminine. Yeah, because you just might be a hunter on the prowl and just want to have a good lay and have some good sex and be done. You may not be ready for a man yet in that way. But I'm talking to the single women out there who want to take a exhale and let her man drive the car while she have the road man. Aren't you tired of driving and he's sitting on the passenger side? Aren't you tired of pushing the lawnmower and painting the house? Aren't you tired of buying your groceries and loading up the truck? Don't you want to be feminine again? Ah, of course you do. You'd be lying if you said no. Of course you do. Because it's in our nature. It's in our nature to want to feel beautiful and sensual and want words of affirmation of, oh, you're beautiful, you're sexy, I love you. It's in our nature to want to feel like a queen. You see, that word queen, every woman's a queen. I didn't say behavior. I said every woman's a queen. She may not have the right behavior from trauma, but there is a queen in her. You see, being a queen means self-care. It means embracing yourself. It means luxury of you embodying yourself from the inside out and feeling like royalty, treating yourself good. That's what being a queen means. It doesn't mean you're better or arrogant from the clothes you wear and how much money you got. No, it's about treating yourself like the luxury you are. But you're also feminine. You also have that energy that exudes only a masculine man can recognize. Not every man is a masculine man now. There's a lot of men who are feminized. And that could be from trauma. That could be from a lot of things. And those men are not wanting to take a lead. They're not wanting to be responsible. They're chronically complaining, waiting for you to be the man and bring home the bacon while they sit and play games or lay up somewhere. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a massive man that says, baby, I got this. That's what I'm talking about. So, getting back to that, if you want to be a wife, if you want your man to paint the house and drive the car, you got to scale back. Ladies, queens, my son has even told me, he has went out with some of these beautiful queens. He said, they'd be like, no, you don't have to hold the door. No, I got the check. Are you kidding me? Of course you know how to pay your own bill. Of course you know how to open the door. Let him be a man. He's trying to show you he respects and want to honor you. There's nothing wrong with being honored. There's nothing wrong with him showing his masculinity and wanting to treat you like a queen. You know you can open your door and pay your bill and take care of yourself. This is not what this is about. Scale back and let him be a man. That's his position. And if you don't do it, he will find a woman who will sit back like me and say, hey, go ahead, babe. Thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. Oh, you so handsome. You so sweet. I love it. Because that's the kind of woman he's going to go for. You can't change that. You can complain all you want. You either want to get healed so you can stop complaining and getting rid of your triggers so you can enjoy your life with a man who wants to honor you and you honor him. Work on your femininity. I see too many women like throwing it out. You can throw it out, but there's something deep in the soul of who you are, the fiber of your being. You're still a woman. I don't care if you're gay or straight, you're still a woman. There's things that women want. Words of affirmation. They want to be treated and honored. That's who we are. That's who we are. That's nature. And a masculine man recognizes the value of a feminine woman. You see, he wants that. He needs your presence, the essence of you. He needs to feel that feminine energy. See, we put that in the environment. When he come home to his castle, he can feel your energy. That makes him want to put a suit on. I'm not talking about you got to go get a pipe and slippers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about using your feminine energy. If you don't want to cook or you don't know how to cook, you still know how to be feminine, don't you? You can say, baby, we're both tired from work. How about we go out together and get something to eat? Or, baby, why don't we order in tonight? That's feminine energy. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You're tired, he's tired, you both work. Use your feminine energy. And if you got kids, make it work for you. I know that. I have 3 sons. Make it work. Have a date night. Say, hey, if they're young children, we're going to put the children to bed early so we can enjoy ourselves. Let's have a picnic on the floor. Let's lock the door, okay? And you tell your kids, don't you come out and start bothering me. Okay, you got to make your children respect you too. You got to put your boundaries up. Your children have to respect your marriage. That's right. You were there before they were. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, a man knows the access of a woman in the situation, what she brings to the table. And he knows that. He can feel that. And that's what he wants. That's what he wants. And you should want that too. Ain't you tired yet? Ain't you tired? I know you got to be tired. If you want a man to rub you down, massage your body, you do your part. Because let me tell you, very few men are going to refuse you when you bring your feminine energy to the table. He ain't going to refuse that. Mm-mm. He got to be so damn tired. He got to be like, even when he tired, he like, hey, I'm still going to try. But that's a man. That's a man. And another thing, when I was talking to my friend Transparency, he said, we don't care about all that stuff about the makeup and the look. Yeah, we're attracted to you. Yeah, baby, you can put on lipstick if you want to, but when it comes to your feminine energy, I don't care if you got Vaseline on your lips. Let's just get busy and enjoy each other's company, okay? Yeah. See, sometimes we get confused. Our queens get confused with Instagram. They think they want to impress the men, but they really want to impress the women. Look at me, look at me, look at me. So the women can be jealous or something, but you ain't trying to impress them. You're trying to impress your man with your feminine energy. Okay? That's who you're trying to impress. And that's all you need to impress. But don't get it confused. Keep some of yourself private if you want a masculine man. Now, if you don't care, then keep doing you on Instagram and enjoy your single life until you're 50. Queen is keeping it real, okay? Keeping it real. But if you want to be married, you've never been married, you've never had children, then you're going to have to go back to the blueprint from the beginning and work on your feminine side. Yeah, I know it's hard out there, and sometimes you got to be masculine. But when you are finished with that space, go get into your feminine side space. I don't care if you got to come home and drop your clothes and take a hot shower or a bath and put on some good music and candles and get some wine or whatever you like to do, whatever to get you in your feminine energy, relax, then do that. But you got to take off that masculine hat because it ain't going to get you what you need. So let's work on those things because you cannot be a wife if you are not preparing to be a wife. If you really want to be a wife, then you're going to have to reconnect to your feminine side. That's so important, ladies, because I have been observing you on Instagram and in stores, and women say, "Well, I don't have time to be feminine." Well, yes, you do, because you're already feminine. You just gotta learn how to work it. You know how to work everything else, right? You know how to go to work, right? You know how to take care of the children, right? You know how to clean the house, right? You know how to pay your bills, right? Then you know how to work that too. If you got time for everything else, then it's time for you. It's time for you to get back to your feminine side because that's what a masculine man wants. And we'll be right back. Hello, I am back. So, ladies and kings and queens out there, I'm Queen D of Queensport Conversation. And I just want to say thank you again. I enjoy being on this bold and driven family. Thank you for the platform because I just love talking to the audience and they give me a chance to express what I feel. And I hope that you are getting something from this, those who are listening. Please like and subscribe to my channel. and also like and subscribe to Bold and Driven. So I want to get back into what I was talking about. You know, there's some confusion going on now. I've had to deal with this, especially in my inbox. A lot of men come on to me all the time because they confuse my feminine energy with sexuality. And they're two different things. Yes, there is some sensuality in feminine energy, but don't get it twisted. One, you can have a masculine female woman who is gorgeous, dressed to the nine, but she's not feminine at all. And she can rock your world and still not be feminine. And she might just want a man child, someone she can boss around. That's different. So I sometimes have to correct some of these men about what feminine energy is. And I think sometimes that, women who are feminine like myself, they test and, to see how far they can get. I get it. I don't mind. I don't get offended. Because, see, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I'm quite capable of using my masculine energy when I need to. And that's when I do my work. That's when I take care of my family. That's when I take care of my business and all of that other stuff. Bills, you name it. But I also know how to be respectable and treat a man like the king that he is. And I also know that he better treat this queen like the queen she is. Because that's when my masculine energy comes out and say, hey, let me check you. Let me check you, boo. Do you know who you're talking to? Okay. Respect me. I'll give you what you need, but you better respect me first. Hey. So let's talk about that. Women, queens out there. Women have a lot of trauma. I had a lot of trauma, and I will admit I am still healing from that last relationship. I was with a very masculine man. I was with an A-type personality. I was with a gorgeous man. I was with a man that I thought I was going to marry. But we did not break up because of him not being masculine. We broke up because he lost himself uh, with the world out there and got in drugs. I'll just be honest with you. And that was because he had his own problems. He was still very good at work. He knew how to do his work. He Harvard student, working, great job, all that stuff, great career. But sometimes we have our own demons that we need to work on. And that's when you have to get professional help. And I will always say, kings and queens out there, if you can't do it yourself, get some professional help, whether you got a pastor, a mentor, uh, or just going to someone privately because you have some trauma. Because we do have trauma, especially in the African American community. We've been through a lot and still going through a lot right now in politics and everything around us. And sometimes that interfere with us coming home and being feminine and masculine and romantic with each other if we have someone. And sometimes we even sometimes jump down each other's throat because we've been out there in the world and society fighting like we're in a war zone because you are in war. But what you got to remember is when you go home to your castle, if you got a woman or if you got a man, don't take it out on your spouse. Don't take it out on your partner. Yeah. You got to learn how to let that be your castle for real. Let that be your safe haven. Let that be the place where you go and you can be and you can close the world off and enjoy your family, enjoy your man, enjoy your woman, enjoy your masculine energy with your feminine energy. And again, hey, like I said, even if you are in a same sex relationship, it goes for you too. You cannot bring your outside poison into your household. You got to let that stuff stay on the outside. Don't bring it in your home. Learn how to separate or get professional help or spiritual guidance in some kind of way. So, getting back to women, we are creatures and we need to feel like we can trust. We need to feel like you're protecting us and that we're safe. That's how women are. And if we don't feel safe with that masculine energy, then you're gonna have a hard time with that relationship. And if you break up or you find out that this is not the person that you thought he was or she was, it's gonna cause a problem. That's what happened to me. I put on my masculine hat when I found out that this person, my ex fiance, had some problems. I had to put on the masculine hat. And I got really bitter about it because I couldn't do an exhale. I had to make sure I had to catch up on the bills. I had to make sure the family was safe. It was a nightmare. So, a masculine man and a feminine woman, they have to be that yin to yang. They have to be suitable. So when you are out there in the dating field again, like I am, I decided it was time. You have to make sure that you assess the situation, the relationship. You got to make sure that you look for those red flags. Okay. You got to make sure that the person who is taking up some of your valuable time and in your space, breathing the same air with you, is worth it, male or female. You have to make sure that you're not wasting your time. There has to be some harmonizing. It has to. You have to feel the vibe. Yeah. And you have to listen to how he speaks to you and how he treats you. And guys, kings out there, you have to do the same. And the reason why I have to also make sure that I include you in this thing, even though I'm talking about feminine energy more so than masculine energy, I will get on that topic in full circle. But right now, I'm talking about female feminine energy. But I will say this because I have sons. You guys have to look out too for the same thing. How is she treating you? Is she treating you like a man child? Is she bossing you around? Is she complaining all the time? Is she angry all the time? Is she comparing you to her last relationship? When you open the door and let her in, does she lean over and open the door for you or at least unlock it? Or she lets you be out there and you have to unlock the door for yourself? These are things you can look for in your relationship. So, women, same thing goes for you. Does he open the door? Does he pull out the chair? Because chivalry ain't dead for a queen, not for feminine energy. Yes, you know how to pull out your own chair. Yes, you know how to unlock your own door. But if he is trying to show you he's a man and he got this, then let him do that. Let him be the man. Take off that masculine hat and relax. Okay? Yeah, relax. Work on your feminine energy. See, you are the helpmate. Whether you like it or not, God didn't make you first. For those Christian women out there, you are the helpmate. You can't change the story, it's already been written. And you already know how it ends. And you're the helpmate. But that doesn't make you less than. What it does is it shows you, like in Proverbs 31, you are the virtuous one. You are running that show. You know how to take care of your family. You know how to take care of your man. You know how to keep everything organized. God has given us so many gifts and talents. It's unbelievable. the things that we can do. So you're blessed and highly favored, but you're not the man. Let him be the king that you want. You said you wanted a king, didn't you? Then let him be masculine. Recognize his value and let him recognize your value. You guys should recognize what you both bring to the table equally. See, behind every great man is a great woman, but guess what? It really is that you're walking side by side. You're really not behind, you're walking side by side. And he is proud to have you on his arm. He is so proud. He loves you, he's proud of you. He is just so proud, ladies. Men like to walk with their head up high with their woman. They like to feel strong and masculine. Well, this is my woman. Let him feel that. Give him an opportunity to show you better than he can tell you. There. And you do the same. You see, feminine energy requires an environment that comes from just being you, the best version of who you are. Yeah. Let him enjoy all of you and what you bring to the table. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to be able to sit back and enjoy? Let him please you in every way. Because let me tell you something. See, us as women, if we know we're going to be pleased, we don't mind cooking. Even if we can't cook, hey, we'll order out, order in. We gonna make sure. We'll make that lunch. Lunch for a word. I'll see you when you get back. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, uh, finalizing all of this and summarizing things, work on the best version of who you are, queens. Work on your feminine energy. Work on all those gifts and talents that God has given you. Let them come to the forefront. Let it come to the table. Start healing the trauma. We got a lot of trauma that separate us from our feminine side, whether it's from not having a father, whether we was emotionally abused or physically abused, whether we had sons that drove us crazy, that went to jail, whatever. Work on yourself and your traumas so it does not interfere with that feminine side of who you are. Yes. See, because we attract who we are. And a man can feel it a mile away. So if you attract a negative energy, he don't want to be bothered with you. You're going to go find a woman with some feminine energy, I don't care how gorgeous you are. I don't care if you get your nails done every 2 weeks and your hair looking fabulous and your makeup is just right. If you're not using that feminine energy and you're using sex appeal and that hunter style and that, I got my bag and you won't be with anybody whether you like it or, because that's not what he's looking for. You got to bring that feminine side to you. See, he already knows your intelligence. He already knows your strength. What else you got? That's what he want to know. Because see, he's already intelligent and strong too. Especially if you're looking for a masculine man. Especially if a masculine man is holding it down. You can't tell him what to do. Not no masculine man. Because if he feels you're going to tell him what to do, he's going to step off and end up with the secretary. That's why so many men end up with the secretary. And you'd be like, how did that happen? Because she was being feminine. But let me tell you something. It wasn't from just a blow, J-O-B, that got him. Because you was doing it. It was because she was feminine. She was scaling back. Okay, boys, what else can I do for you? That's what he was looking for. Support. Affirmation. He wanted someone to say, "Oh, you're so smart. I got this. What else you need to?" And if you got an attitude from what I'm saying, means you still got trauma. You're not healed. Because if you was confident in who you are, you wouldn't feel insulted or upset about what I'm saying. Let that resonate in your spirit. This is not something I just made up. This is something I have observed, worked on, and my minor was psychology. But I also know that I even have to scale back because I can be a bit much. I've been told by my sons, I've been told by my mother, and I've been told by my dad, God rest his soul. So even I had to scale it back so that I could get what I want. Again, that is, you know, I know how to play the role of sexy. I know how to do that, dress up and look fabulous. But see, I want more than just sex or one night stand. I don't want a toy boy. I don't want a man child. I want someone where I can go, baby, you got this. You know I do, baby. You know I got this. That's what I'm talking about. A masculine man who wants all of me, can handle all of me, the whole me. Don't you want that? Don't you want a man that understands you and can handle all of you? He already knows you know what to do, but do you know what he can do? He can do more than just change a tire, okay? He can do more than just rock your world in the bed. Let him show you that he is your man and that he got you. He's going to protect you. He loves you. He cares for you. That's what you want. That's what you need. And that's what you'll get if you use your feminine energy. And that's all I have to say. Work on that, ladies. Work on that, queens. You got this. Thank you.